27 July 2023, New York AM silver bullet setup. The chart shows the DXY on the M5. I'm using this indicator from Lux Algo called the silver bullet indicator, and it saves a lot of time and helps in two main ways. These blue lines are untapped liquidity. Okay, so the trend has just gone up anyway, and because it's gone up so much, I can't see any liquidity on the left hand side, but thanks to this indicator, if I scroll back far enough, it is there. Okay, now I'm trading it on the 1 minute. The reason I put it on the 5 minute first is to show that if you can't see liquidity on the 1 minute, just go to the next highest time frame until you can see the draw. So based on a 5 minute, before this candle opens, the draw is clearly to the upside. So I'm hoping to see a fair value gap formed in the direction of the upside. Okay, so a bullish fair value gap, and that's exactly what we get as soon as it opens. You get this massive big fair value gap on a 1 minute. Okay, and then immediately with this engulfer, you've got a clearly established range. So two things you're going to wait for: price needs to return to a discount, so anywhere below the halfway mark, which it does. Okay, and then you just get you have to wait for two green candles. So you could have taken your signal there. If you don't like the wicks, then you could have waited for these two to form. So for the purposes of this example, I'll just take the more aggressive of the two. So 14.11 close. Okay, now I'm going to look at the crosses one by one just to get an idea of whether the trade worked or not. So this one obviously did work. This is dollar Swiss. Okay, dollar CAD. So I'd be wanting to buy dollar from here. You probably wouldn't have worked this one, because yeah, it wasn't a good trade anyway. You'd call it a loser, whatever you did. This looks pretty good. Almost no drawdown. Goes in your direction. That's Aussie. Pound. I think it would have been okay. You would at least got a break even on that. Euro, we want to see it going down, similar. And dollar yen does very well. Okay, so you might not have got that much out of it, but remember, you're only going for 1-to-1 most of the time on these trades. Okay, next we're looking at the yen index. So the same time, this is Thursday 27th, New York AM session. Again, on the M5, I've had to come out to the M5 because on the M1 the liquidity levels aren't there. But just eyeballing it like this, I know already on a higher time frame, yen is bearish, and this is the immediate draw on liquidity on the M5. So down on the M1, this is what we're looking at. Okay, so I want to see now the yen index. The candles look funny, they don't look like normal candles, but basically we get this, we get the fair value gap down, which is what we want immediately. We get the move back above the halfway mark, so then I need to wait for two consecutive down candles, and you see I don't get it. It doesn't really doesn't work that well. So the earliest I can get in if I'm using this is from here. Okay, that's 14.22. Let's see. So, well, these are all reversed. So this is 1 over CAD yen. So CAD yen, that's actually a good trade. Okay, so this is pound yen inverse. We expect it to go down. It's actually a very good trade as well. And it kind of goes down a bit. You probably you should at least get a break even. Obviously there's more to taking the trade. You can't just take any one of these trades. It's up to you to figure out which one of these pairs provides the best opportunity. So that works. Okay, it seems they pretty much all work. Okay, moving on to the Aussie. So this is the Aussie coming into the silver bullet session. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, um, there are levels here that I think should be marked. Like if I was doing it myself, I'd mark this as a potential drawn liquidity, and I'd mark that as well. But the algorithm, the indicator, some reason isn't showing it. So that's on the M5. So coming into this, like my immediate draws on liquidity, I'd have two. So in this instance, I'd probably draw them manually. There's a double top there, and you've got, yeah, triple bottom there, all both relative equal lows. So okay, on a 1 minute, it looks different. So you do have liquidity levels drawn. So you can see that, well, that's my manual level, but there's a level here. There's some, yeah, there's some red lines down here. So actually your draw could be here. And you've got a lot of range to get to that draw. Okay, so we're on a 1 minute, silver bullet opens. And what happens? Immediate fair value gap. Price taps into the fair value gap and keeps moving. Now, here's the problem. If your rule is that you want the retracement to come back at least 50%, you do not get the signal doesn't work, right? So in this instance, you had a lot of down movement, which you missed out on because you never got the retracement. Now, if you're waiting for a tap of the second fair value gap, so this one forms here, that becomes your 0 point, and that will be your 1. Okay, this one works. So even if you kept you would have missed out on the first one, but you could get in here. Okay, got to move down. Fair value gap form at a premium, rejection, and then you get followed by 2 down candles. That's good enough to look for an entry. So that's 14.16, looking to sell the Aussie. Okay, so that works on the Aussie dollar. Very good trade. Aussie yen, you get some follow through, but it seems to, I mean, if you're you would have been stopped out unless your stop was here, even then. Okay, so it just goes to show it's not a surefire entry for every single pair, but it's a good starting point. You get a little bit of downside continuation for a pullback. That works very well. That doesn't, that's more or less the same as the other 2 pairs that haven't worked, and that one also works very well. We're looking at the pound now, so this is the M5 first, so just to get the draws. So you've got draws to both sides, and we're pretty much equidistant between them. So I guess if you get whatever setup you get on a 1 minute, probably worth taking. Just note this, on an M5 there's no fair value gaps, and on an M1 we do get a couple of fair value gaps. Okay, on M1 it definitely looks like there's more draw to the upside as well. So this looks like a pretty simple, clean, easy setup. Yeah, it's very good. Look, it goes straight, pretty much just about to the 50. Wicks at the 50 in this fair value gap. 1, 2 bars. Okay, let's call it 3 bars because of this wick, just to be safe. 14.50, looking to buy pound. That's fantastic. That is perfection, that one. That works very well. Works. Very good. Also good. Perfect. It's very, yeah, same. Okay, excellent.